What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Junior and the Big Dog. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another player profile video that we're going to be covering today, and it's going to be on Romello Height. What's going on, Big Dog?
That's hanging in there, everybody. Always all about the you.
Yes, sir.
I hope we are actually filming this on July 4th. You guys are seeing it a few days later, but we're going to cover all the commits, all the recent commits that we haven't covered already in our prospects videos, I should say. We're going to cover in these individual ones for you. So with a video breakdown, as always, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, leave us your comments. You guys have done an amazing job for us. I mean, you guys have just been a blessing in terms of how you've helped us continue growing, and please help us with that. And I'll tell you what, this is a guy with, and we're actually going to end up with, as of 2021, we'll have another Romello. So that's not I didn't know it was that common of a name, because we have Romello Brinson, the wide receiver, 2021 commit.
Yeah,
who I really like, by the way.
Nice. He's nice.
No, and that young man leads orange and green, because every single thing he goes to, he is recruiting for Miami. So I'm a fan of Brinson's. Now with Height, we talked a little bit about this in our last live chat, but this is a guy who is going. They're going to play a role called the Viper, and what the Viper is a defensive end that sometimes drops into coverage like an outside linebacker, which is that Viper role that you're going to see as a new type of wrinkle. We saw a little bit of Trent Harris did that with Miami on occasion, but I think we're going to use that a little bit more. We might see Jafari Harvey in that role in 2019. We might see Jalen Phillips also in somewhat of that role, although I think with Phillips we're going to use him as a pure pass rushing. But Romello Height, that's the idea of, he's very excited. I think that's one of the reasons why we got the recruitment, why we got his commitment, I should say, because everybody had him leaning. He's from Dublin, Georgia. Let me give you the bio real quick. Tremendous size, 6'5", 216 pounds, from Dublin High School in Dublin, Georgia. He is ranked in the 247 composite as a very high 3-star. 247 actually has him as a rating of 90 and a 4-star already. 247 composite, which is the combination ESPN, Rivals, and 247, and they give a composite number, which is the one that we usually use. So 247 composite has him ranked as the 447th best overall player. He was offered by, I believe it was 26 schools total. But he picked
some of those included Tennessee, Florida, South Carolina, Kentucky, Auburn, Ole Miss, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, which was the school that was between Georgia Tech and Miami, I believe, because he was pretty much leaning towards Georgia Tech. But USC also offered him, and Virginia, and there was also some traction with Georgia, although Georgia didn't end up offering him.
Right.
But
he did pick us over the SEC, basically. Yeah. Almost the entire SEC was after him. Really intriguing guy with a big upside. 6'5", 216. This is a guy, if you guys didn't see the commitment video, look it up on Twitter, on his Twitter page. His commitment video, he doesn't have a shirt on, and he doesn't look like a high school kid. He looks like a grown man.
Yeah, he does.
6'5", 216, and well put together. I do think he's going to play the Viper role early in his college career. I think later on in his college career, you're going to see him get up to 260, 270, and then I think we'll use him more as a traditional defensive end, which I think I think his skill set, and I know he's rated an outside linebacker, but his skill set, especially with that size, he has a really good wingspan too. Plays with a good motor. I do see he's kind of raw. They used him at wide receiver. They used him at outside linebacker, at defensive end.
They used him at wide receiver quite a bit. Guys, we don't have for some reason the high school that he attended, they didn't really keep any stats. So Max Preps didn't have any stats for him. But in the videos, it was kind of hard trying to narrow down the videos on what we're bringing them in as, obviously, which is going to be either outside linebacker, but most likely down the road defensive end, playing that Viper role like Big Dog said. So it was really hard to find stats and no measurables either. So I mean, basically this is going to come down to the eye test. If you guys we're not going to really show him as wide receiver, obviously, because we're not bringing him in as wide receiver. But if you guys want to catch that full video, I think it's called No Joke on Huddle. So if you guys want to see that whole video in its entirety, you'll see him at defensive end, you'll see him at outside linebacker, and you'll also see him at wide receiver. So they had him all over the place, basically.
Right.
So
and a lot of times, like you could expect that when that happens is when guys do that, they're a little raw when it comes to technique, because they're not just focused on one position.
Well, we saw that especially with Nigel Bethel. I think was one of those guys that had all the talent in the world, but they played him everywhere.
Perfect example. Yeah. Perfect example. Yep. Perfect example. And one of the reasons why Nigel has taken a while to develop, besides he was very light.
Yeah, he was.
When he first showed up,
he was like
he was like 160 pounds at over 6 feet.
Yeah.
It was 160.
Yeah, like around 160.
It was there when he should might have even been lighter. But he was also such a great athlete that they just played him everywhere
and fast. I mean, Bethel is probably the fastest guy we have on the team.
I think him and Lingard. I don't know if Lingard's back to 100%. Maybe
I would pay to see a race.
I think if it's a 50. I think if it's 100 meter, I think Lingard takes it.
Lingard's a track guy. I mean, come on.
Right. And he's a world-class hurdler type of guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be pretty quick because Nigel can pick him up and put him down. Yeah. So either way, I'm glad we have them both, and those are the two guys I want on our kick return team.
Yeah.
But they did use Romello Height everywhere, so he's pretty raw when it comes to technique. Mm-hmm. What I'd like to see, even if we use him in that Viper role, what I would like to see is him working really hard with Todd Stroud in terms of developing moves. Because what I do see the upside potential that other people see. What I did the pass rusher. He got by a lot of it on just
go ahead and repeat the last thing you said, Big Dog, because you broke up a little bit for a second there.
Sorry about that. That what I didn't see, when you look at his tape, I see the potential that people see because he is 6'5" with a tremendous wingspan and a very good athlete.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't see a lot of is technique as a pass rusher.
Yes.
So even though we're going to use him as a Viper, I want Todd Stroud to work with him and get him to develop some technique and really work on his pass rushing moves, because he got by a lot of times just by being the better athlete.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what I'd like to see.
And
so you want to go ahead and let's do the film?
Yeah, and there's no question, the athlete that he is.
Oh, no. I mean, 6'5", 216, and really well put together. And you guys will see in that commitment video on Twitter how well put together he is, because he looks like a grown man. He doesn't look like a high school kid.
Yeah. The first clip you're going to see him at defensive end.
Right. And as you see, he just gets by, misses the quarterback, but he gets by on athletic ability. But here's what I love: his motor. He plays to the echo of the whistle. He has a high motor, and he's a high effort guy, and that I love seeing. He doesn't give up on a play. There you see, makes the tackle, sheds the block, and you do see that on every play. And here he makes a really nice play. Gets rid of the block, boom, and it helps. Boom, it helps on the on the tackle for loss.
Yeah.
So
he got off that block very quick.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, he is
guys. That was a short. That was a short clip, like I said, because it was really tough. Because the very next play after that one, it was him as wide receiver. So it'll be like 2 or 3 more as wide receiver. So it was hard trying to find just like a combination of him playing defense. Because like we said, they use him a lot at wide receiver. So I encourage you guys to check out the full video on Huddle so you can see how much of an athlete he is. At wide receiver, obviously you don't see him. He doesn't have like four type of speed where he's blowing past the secondary, but he's 6'5". So
right.
he's going against these corners that are 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". So I mean, they're literally just throwing the ball up to him, and he's just going up there and catching it. So he has good hands, but that's not really going to make a difference.
One of the things I think I really liked about his body control is that for somebody that big at that age, he has really good body control.
Yeah, and you see that him at wide receiver especially. So that's why I encourage you guys to check that video out.
Yeah, you do. Okay, I'll put it this way. I've heard people be very excited about Height. I don't see very excited. I don't see a reason for that very excited as of yet. Do I think he has a big upside? Yes. Do I think he's raw? Yes. Is he a good fit for that Viper role? Yeah, I do see that. I do see why. And he's excited about doing that Viper role. And that's one of the reasons why he committed to Miami. But I have more of a wait and see attitude. But I do see the upside. I do see why he has that upside. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that just for the simple fact of his physique and his athletic ability being that size. I do not see him because he played mostly outside linebacker and wide receiver. I think that was the majority of what he played at high school. Although he did, when you saw in the video, he did line up at defensive end sometimes, but the majority, I think it was outside linebacker and wide receiver. I don't, because I see him being a project, so I don't necessarily see him, making a huge impact off the back. He might even be a redshirt guy, to be honest with you, but I see him being a defensive end in the future.
That's the one aspect. I'm going to get a little nerdy in depth here. In order for things to work, when someone says something is dysfunctional, well, for something to be fully functional means that it all comes together at the same time. What I think is somewhat dysfunctional with Romello Height is that he's going to be used as a Viper. Early on in his career, as raw as he is, I do think he's a redshirt candidate. Well, what's going to happen is after he's been in a strength and conditioning program for a year or two that he's ready to play, he's no longer going to be a Viper, chances are, because he's probably going to be 270 at 6'5" or 275. So that's the thing that
Hey, you see him getting all the way up there.
He's a real 6'5".
Yeah.
And if you look at his frame, he has that frame to be 275, every bit of it.
I don't know, man. I
don't see him anywhere near.
I see him maybe
30, 240.
No, I see him 250, 255. I don't see him
if you're looking at as a, let's say, a redshirt sophomore, maybe 260.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is now, are you going to still use him as a Viper at 6'5", 260, or are you going to use him as a defensive end?
Exactly. Yeah.
And by that time, Todd Stroud has worked on his pass rushing moves, has given him much more technique, giving him a better ability to use those hands because he does have very long arms.
And that's something you want in a defensive end. So, yeah. No, yeah, that's a good point.
I lost you there.
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
I'm saying that's one of those big things when it comes to defensive end, having a long defensive end is big. Long wingspan is big. So
yeah. I mean, one of the things that makes Gregory Rousseau, such a freak of nature is that wingspan.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not saying that Romello Height has the wingspan of Greg Rousseau. I think, Kevin, you have to go like Kevin Durant to have the wingspan of Gregory Rousseau.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So I think it's a little bit dysfunctional because using him as a Viper early in his career, I don't think he's going to play that later in his career, and he's a little raw to play a lot early in his career. So you see what I'm saying in terms of being dysfunctional?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I don't know if dysfunctional is the word, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what word to use because dysfunctional sounds like negative.
No, I don't. I mean it in the way of he's excited about the Viper role. Miami's excited to have him be primarily for that Viper role.
Right.
I see him raw where he needs a year of possibly a red shirt. Okay. And if he has that year of red shirting, now he's growing to no longer being necessarily a Viper, but more of a defensive end.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I see that. But at the same time, I do think there's a lot of upside.
Yeah.
And please comment and let us know what you think about Romello Height, and if you see some of the same things I'm talking about. But
a question for you guys. Which one do you agree with? Do you agree with the 247 ranking? Do you see him as being a 4-star, or do you agree with the composite ranking as a 3-star? That's something that me and the Big Dog were discussing before we got on this video. So we would like to see what you guys think about it, and what do you guys envision him being now and in the future? I mean, do you guys agree with what we're saying, or do you have your own take on it? Guys, comment, let us know. I mean, we would really appreciate it, and we'll obviously talk back and forth with you guys about it. So we want to hear from you.
I'll put it this way. My take, and it's funny because they're basically the same size. My take on Romello Height is somewhere along the same lines as what my take on Cam Williams was.
Okay.
I need to see more.
Yeah.
I need to see more, and I need to see development of technique and how he is going to grow into that body in the strength and conditioning program.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair, man.
There you go.
So with that being said, that wraps it up for Romello Height, guys. If you like the video and if you like the content that we bring to you guys, if you're new here especially, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified anytime we post up a video. We're going to be doing, hopefully, we got a lot more commits. Not a lot more commits, but we got some very important guys that might commit soon. So we're going to be, we're going to keep on doing these player profile videos on commits and stuff like that, so you guys could, get all the information. And yeah, so with that being said, you got anything else, Big Dog?
I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys again for all the support, all the prayers. And I'll tell you, I'm not one of these tree hugging type of guys, but I am a big believer that when positivity is sent out, that it has a positive impact. And all you guys, the prayers for my health and stuff like that, and all the positive messages, guys, it hit its mark. And I really appreciate it. And it really means a lot to me. So thank you, guys.
And it means a lot to the Big Dog, and it means a lot to me, guys, because, I mean, the Big Dog, that's my number one right there. This is my best friend, my father. So to hear you guys, the outpouring of support and prayers for him, I mean, I really do appreciate the love and the prayers sent out, man, because, Big Dog, well, you already know Big Dog. You already know what you mean to Junior. So thank you guys so much, man, for watching once again. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always,
it's all about this you.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys soon, baby. Thank you.
little. Yoga.